There comes a moment in every journey when it feels like you're running in circles, working hard, showing up every day, yet seeing no results. That's the moment that breaks most people. But for those who understand the power of consistency, that same moment becomes the foundation of transformation. Because staying consistent when nothing seems to work, that's when the real growth happens. When life feels like it's standing still, when every effort you make seems to vanish into the void, that's the exact moment your real transformation begins. It's easy to keep going when everything's working, when results are visible, when the world seems to be clapping for you. But when you're giving your all and nothing seems to move, that's when most people give up. Yet that moment, the one that feels like failure, is actually where the greatest progress is happening. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but deep beneath the surface, your roots are growing stronger, your foundation is forming, and your future is quietly taking shape. Progress is not always loud. It's not always visible. Sometimes it's silent, hidden behind the curtain of patience and persistence. Think of the seed buried deep in the soil. When it's underground, it's surrounded by darkness. There's no light, no applause, no visible growth. Yet something powerful is happening within it. It's cracking open. The roots are spreading, seeking nourishment, building stability. If that seed judged its progress by what it could see, it would think nothing was happening. But in truth, everything that matters is happening beneath the surface. That's exactly what happens in your life when you stay consistent even when nothing seems to change. You're growing in ways you can't measure. You're learning resilience, patience, and endurance. These are not visible victories, but they are the kind that define every great success story. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or desire. They fail because they give up too soon. They quit in the dark before the light arrives. They walk away right before the breakthrough. The irony of growth is that the hardest days, the days when it feels like you're stuck, are the days that are shaping you the most. Every time you show up, even when it feels pointless, you're casting a vote for your future self. You're building trust with your own soul. You're saying, I believe in something bigger than my current circumstances. That belief is what carries you forward when everything else seems to be against you. You must understand that progress doesn't always look like forward motion. Sometimes it looks like stillness. Sometimes it looks like repetition. Sometimes it looks like nothing at all. But in reality, that's the training ground. That's where your mindset is being forged. You're building emotional strength, developing consistency, and learning to operate without needing immediate rewards. That's the kind of power that can't be taken from you. When you reach the point where you can stay committed, even when the results are invisible, you become unstoppable. You stop chasing motivation and start living with conviction. There will be days when you'll question everything, your path, your purpose, your effort. That's normal. Everyone who has ever built something meaningful has felt that same doubt. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. One group decided to keep showing up anyway. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's not about doing it all right. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, doing the work when no one's watching, and trusting that your time will come, because it always does. Life rewards those who don't give up during the waiting season. When you stay consistent even when nothing is working, you're creating a foundation so strong that no setback can shake it. You're building habits that will serve you for years to come. You're proving to yourself that you're not just chasing outcomes. You're becoming someone who honors their word, someone who stays true to the vision even when the road gets hard. Every great story starts with a chapter of struggle, and every success is born from a season of unseen effort. So the next time you feel stuck, remember this: your progress is happening, even if your eyes can't see it yet. The roots of greatness are always invisible before they rise to the surface. Keep watering the seed, keep nurturing your dream, keep showing up for yourself, because one day, the results will burst through the ground, and when they do, you'll realize that every day you stayed consistent in the dark was worth it. You were never standing still. You were becoming everything you were meant to be. There comes a time when motivation runs out. The fire that once pushed you to take action begins to fade, and the excitement that once fueled you turns into exhaustion. This is the moment when most people stop. They think, maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe I should wait until I feel inspired again. But that's where the truth separates those who dream from those who achieve. You can't depend on motivation because it's built on emotion, and emotion changes. One day you feel unstoppable, the next you feel defeated. If you rely on that emotional roller coaster to move forward, you'll never reach the destination. Discipline, not motivation, is what keeps you on track when everything else falls apart. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to. It's showing up when no one will know if you did or didn't. It's the quiet commitment that says, I'll do it anyway. The greatest power you will ever develop is the ability to act independent of how you feel. Because the truth is, feelings are temporary, but habits last a lifetime. The moment you start living based on discipline, you gain control over your future. You stop waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect day, or the perfect plan, and you start creating momentum through action. Every time you push through resistance, you build a stronger version of yourself. Think about it. If you only act when you feel motivated, how many days would you waste? Motivation might get you started, but it's discipline that finishes the race. It's what carries you through the moments when everything in you screams to stop. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's the early mornings, the long nights, the repetition, the grind. It's the decision to keep moving even when progress is slow. That's what makes it powerful. Because while everyone else waits for inspiration to strike, you're out there building something real. There's something incredible that happens when you stop negotiating with yourself. Most people lose the battle before they even begin because they allow feelings to control their actions. They say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start when I feel ready. But discipline doesn't ask if you're ready. It demands that you rise. It turns effort into identity. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Soon what once felt like a struggle becomes a standard. You no longer have to fight yourself to get moving. You just do it. That's the real freedom. You're no longer held hostage by your moods. You're guided by your mission. The most successful people aren't those who always feel motivated. They're those who have mastered consistency through discipline. They understand that greatness isn't built on bursts of effort. It's built on the repetition of simple habits, day after day. They show up even when the spark is gone, because they know every action compounds. One workout won't change your body. One study session won't change your career. But thousands of them stacked over time create transformation. It's not the dramatic moments that shape your life. It's the daily choices you make when no one's watching. There will always be distractions, excuses, and reasons to stop. Life will test you with delays, failures, and obstacles designed to see how badly you want it. Discipline is the shield that protects you in those moments. It's what keeps you moving forward when everything else feels uncertain. You might not have control over your circumstances, but you always have control over your effort. Every time you choose discipline, you take your power back. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than the noise around you and the doubts within you. Remember, motivation is a spark, but sparks fade fast. Discipline is the flame that keeps burning long after the excitement disappears. It's what allows you to stay steady in chaos, to keep moving when progress feels invisible, and to trust the process even when results take time. The difference between winning and losing, between success and failure, often comes down to one simple thing: who kept showing up when the feeling was gone. When you live by discipline, you don't need to chase motivation. You create it. Every action you take feeds the fire inside you. And one day, you'll look back and realize that your consistency wasn't just the path to success. It was the proof that you became someone unstoppable. Every person who's ever accomplished something extraordinary has faced the moment where everything in them screamed to quit. That breaking point, the moment where effort feels wasted, progress seems invisible, and the dream feels too far away, is the birthplace of breakthroughs. It's where your strength is tested, where your resolve is refined, and where you decide what kind of person you truly are. Most people turn back right there. They believe the resistance is a sign to stop, when in reality, it's the sign to push harder. The resistance isn't a wall meant to block you. It's a doorway meant to transform you. When you're at that edge of frustration, when nothing seems to work despite your best effort, that's when the universe is asking you one simple question: how bad do you want it? Because anyone can keep going when things are easy, but only the few who continue through the storm reach the other side. Breakthroughs aren't born from comfort, they're born from persistence. That moment when you feel like you've done all you can and nothing's changing, that's the moment you're closest to the shift you've been waiting for. It's like the final push before dawn. The night feels darkest right before the sun rises. That's how life works. Your biggest breakthroughs often come right after your hardest trials. You must understand that growth is uncomfortable by design. It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to stretch you beyond what you think you're capable of. Every time you push through resistance, you're teaching your mind that discomfort doesn't mean defeat. You're conditioning yourself to operate under pressure, to act with courage, even when fear is whispering in your ear. This is where the transformation happens, not in the moments of ease, but in the moments of struggle. The weight you carry now is building the strength you'll need later. The pain you feel now is preparing you for the greatness that's coming. Most people never realize that breakthroughs don't announce themselves. They don't come with a warning or a sign saying, "You're almost there." They hide behind exhaustion, behind disappointment, behind moments when you feel invisible. That's why consistency during resistance matters so much. Every time you choose to keep moving forward, despite the struggle, you're creating pressure. And pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. Without resistance, there's no refinement. Without the struggle, there's no strength. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. It's in those silent, painful seasons where you learn who you truly are. You learn that your power doesn't come from external validation or quick success. It comes from your ability to rise after every fall. You learn to rely on faith instead of results, on purpose instead of comfort. And once you cross that threshold, once you stay consistent beyond the point of resistance, you realize that the person you become is far greater than the goal you were chasing. You've built resilience, discipline, and an unshakable belief in yourself. That's the real reward. Think about every mountain climber who reaches the summit. The air gets thinner near the top, the climb gets harder, and every step burns. But that's also where the view begins to unfold. If they gave up halfway, they'd never see what they've been fighting for. Life is no different. Your breakthrough doesn't happen halfway. It happens when you've given everything and still choose to give more. The pain you're feeling now is the price of growth. And the moment you stop resisting it, you begin to rise through it. The truth is, the universe doesn't test the weak to destroy them. It tests the strong to prove them. Every challenge is an invitation to rise to a new level of yourself. So when you reach that point where you think you can't take another step, take one more. When it feels like you've given your all, give a little more. That's the moment everything begins to shift. The resistance is not the end. It's the final stage before the breakthrough. One day you'll look back and realize that what once felt like failure was actually the turning point. The nights you wanted to quit, the moments you felt unseen, the times you wondered if it was worth it. Those were the chapters that built your strength. Staying consistent through resistance doesn't just help you reach your goal, it turns you into someone who cannot be broken. Because once you've learned to push through when nothing is working, you've mastered the most powerful lesson in life. Success doesn't come to the one who starts strong. It comes to the one who never stops.